Hello, welcome to this mini review of Sabotage Showdown. This is the new mission pack for Star Wars Shatterpoint. The launch day is today. I have been with this all day today and I'm really excited about it, and I just want to share all my thoughts with you. So this Shatterpoint has been my most played game easily since it came out. I've got all the content except for a few foil cards and that kind of stuff. Probably reduce my amount of collecting going forward, because I think with everything I've got so far, I've probably not going to see many new things within the game, but I'll certainly be picking up anything that comes out which seems quite a lot different to what we've already got. Now, having said that, massively excited about this. So Sabotage Showdown basically adds so much more variety to the game just by switching up the missions a little bit, that it's much needed. And the thing I mostly appreciate about this is it does have a big impact in the way the game plays. So it forces different play styles from the original mission pack. Even though everything is roughly the same, there's a few kind of conditions to do with your Shatterpoint cards and that kind of thing, and we'll get into that in a minute because it is very interesting. But I massively appreciate what this has done for Shatterpoint, and I'm really excited about moving forward and playing this. So I've got my games night, my regular games night is a Sunday. So I've been messing around with this all day. Sunday is when I'll get some really competitive games with it. So I might come back next week with a few other thoughts on it. So let's have a look at what we get in the box. So we get an extra 5 of these 1 wound tokens. I'm not entirely sure the reason for this, but I assume it is that either there's combinations in the core box. There's combinations with the squads that have come out that mean that perhaps there's not enough in the core box. It's either that or there will be certain squad packs that come out later on, which means you won't have enough. So I reckon that's the reason for that. We get 3 double-sided priority objective tokens. And then we just get 3 more normal objective tokens. So that's it token wise, not a great deal. You could probably get away with not having them. Card wise, we get our mission card, which teaches us basically how to play this mission pack, and then we get our 3 of each struggle card, which we'll get onto in a minute. There is a new layout, so basically we're reduced from 9 objectives to 7, and on each of our mission cards, our struggle cards, there are conditions on there which allow us to get some extra perks and changes out of our Shatterpoint cards. So actually, let's do that first. So we have 3 different cards, obviously, for each struggle. And within those 3 cards, there's 3 different kind of conditions that you have to use or can use when you pull your Shatterpoint card out. Now, these 3 conditions, they are exactly the same through all 3 struggles. We'll quickly run through what they are. So we've got stick to the plan. At the start of this unit's activation, refresh 1 force. We have regroup. At the start of this unit's activation, it may remove 2 damage or 1 condition from itself. I've got a funny feeling that would probably be better to say heal 2 instead of remove 2 damage. That is what it is. And then press forward. At the start of this unit's activation, each character in this unit may move. Okay, so nothing massive there, but certainly a nice little perk, something to throw into each time you turn over a Shatterpoint card. So yeah, that's the important thing. It is for Shatterpoint card activated units only. You don't play them throughout the game. Now, in terms of the layout, if we just compare these, so this is a card from the core box compared to a card from Sabotage Showdown. So we can see that not only have we reduced the number of objectives, but the objectives that line up on your side and on your opponent's side are much closer together. Much closer together than they were previously. So basically, in a nutshell, the distance between these ones is around about 13 inches from center of the objective to the center of the objective. With these ones, they are only 10 inches apart. So if you consider that the diameter of your objective area is basically 5 inches, effectively it means that these objectives are, at least in area wise, they're only 5 inches apart, which is crucial, very, very different. It means that obviously when we start the game, we're going to want to do a bit of a smash and grab and get those objectives early, obviously unless you go first, because you don't claim them on the first turn. But it significantly pulls things together. So imagine, you know, most of the time when you deploy your units, you kind of have an even spread, but based in 2 sectors based on the current mission pack. This changes it significantly, depending on the speed of your units and that kind of thing. You're going to likely set up quite differently. It also means that, for example, here, you're certain to get your first 2 objectives within turn 1 and turn 2, and then it's a bit of a grab for everything else. So for me, when setting up and kind of looking through how I expect to face up in the game, deployed very, very differently. It also forces a lot of kind of close, a lot of kind of bringing your units closer together. And also, if you look at this card, it also kind of makes you want to push on and kind of get a chance to take these objectives rather than going for the more sporadic ones, because you've got more chance of getting both of these in one go. So yeah, it does really incline a different style of play. So we're going to get into some sort of spoiler territory, but you know, it's not massive. Once you know what the cards are, you know what they are. There's only 9 of them. So we'll quickly go through this. Struggle 1. All of the objective layouts are the same. The only thing that's different is those Shatterpoint card conditions. Struggle 2. There's a bit more variety, and it does really kind of fit in line with what we saw from the first mission pack, in that whoever gets the priority, or whoever lost the first struggle, is going to be pretty much quids in for the next struggle, and will get a good choice as to how he lays things out. And then the third one, we go back to being much more even again. Now, to sum up, I really am a big fan of this mission pack. It sticks to the focus of the game as we love from the core box, but it does give us a good amount of adaptation. It does force a different style of play. So effectively, if you think about your current go-to formulas for winning the game, you're going to need to adapt those slightly, because there's going to, especially in turn 1, there's going to be greater reward for pressing on and into your opponent's territory. There's going to be very different ways you face up initially, based on where your objectives are. And even when it gets to that turn 2 and 3, the alignment of where the objectives are is varied that much more as well. So it really does offer something very different. It's going to make you rethink or think differently about how you're going to face up in this game and kind of pursue your chances of victory. Now, I will be back in at least a couple of weeks, really, once I've got lots and lots of games of this under my belt, so I can really go through and give a much, much more kind of thoughtful update on what's going on. But I'm a huge fan of this. Very, very happy with what I've got so far. Now, I've got a bigger project, of which I am basically creating my own Shatterpoint boards out of hardboard. And I want to kind of release that in the next couple of weeks as well. And that's basically going to show you how I lay out my objectives for really tournament play, to get those objectives absolutely spot on, and basically how I'm going about it. So I'm really enjoying the process of building those at the moment, and I look forward to bringing those videos very, very soon. So if you're up for that and you want to see it, please drop a subscribe, and don't forget to like this video. Any questions at all, anything you want me to cover or just respond to in the comments, let me know and I'll get back to you ASAP. So that's about it, guys. I mean, honestly, the only other thing I wanted to mention was the price. So I picked this up for about 12 quid from Zato in the UK. My go-to is Element Games, but they haven't got their stock yet. Now, as a lover of Warhammer products and that kind of thing, I naturally assumed that this was going to be about 25 quid. So I was really impressed when the price came out. Ultimately, it's 10 cards and some tokens. But yeah, there was the opportunity for us to get really shafted on this. And I think that sort of £12 to pay, that's a worthy price for how much variety that we get out of this game. So I'm massively appreciative of it. But anyway, I'll harp on. In short, the shortest review I could possibly give is if you enjoy this game, you need this. Anyway, I'll leave it there, guys. Thanks so much for watching. If you want to see more Shatterpoint, don't forget to subscribe. Drop a comment with what you want to see. I'll be back in a couple of weeks anyway. I've got some board builds that I'm putting together at the moment, which I'm really enjoying, especially for tournaments and that kind of stuff. Some really nitty-gritty stuff. So, yeah. Make sure you subscribe and all that kind of stuff if you want to be kept up to date with that. But thanks, guys. I'll see you all later.